No one gets to have a personal slave. Parents do not get to bring children into the world and then decide those children exist solely to regulate their emotions, fulfill their unmet needs, obey indefinitely, or sacrifice their own lives in repayment for being raised. Yes, raising a child is an enormous investment, but the completely dependent infant is never responsible for the choices the adults made when they decided to bring a child into the world. This is important because many adult children of narcissistic parents carry an unbearable sense of indebtedness. They feel they owe their parents access to their time, their homes, their emotions, their boundaries, their lives. Guilt becomes the invisible chain that keeps the system functioning. After all, how could anyone ever repay their parents for having raised them? The answer is they cannot, because care is not supposed to become debt bondage. Love is not meant to become enslavement, and life itself is not something you repay by abandoning yourself. Let me introduce you to someone who learned this the hard way. This is Elena. In a previous video, Elena was the one who answered every call, canceled every plan, and handed over her peace to keep her mother from spiraling. She felt guilty every time she said no, but today Elena is learning something different. Watch her. Her mother just demanded she cancel a long-planned trip because she feels abandoned. Elena's old pattern would be to obey, to shrink, to apologize. Instead, Elena pauses. She places a hand on her chest. She breathes, and she whispers, "I am not a repayment plan. I am not an emotional support animal. I am a human being with my own life, and my life matters too." If your culture or beliefs encourage honoring your parents, you are completely free to do so. But perhaps honoring your parents does not mean tolerating abuse, manipulation, chronic boundary violations, or the destruction of your own mental health. Maybe honoring your life is also sacred. Many adult children of narcissists struggle to say no because toxic guilt convinces them they are cruel or ungrateful. So they tolerate things that violate their well-being. A mother stays in your house for a month without asking properly, and you feel unable to say no. A father demands access to your finances because family helps family. A parent calls you repeatedly during work hours and becomes abusive if you do not answer. This is why learning the difference between legitimate guilt and toxic guilt is essential. Legitimate guilt happens when you genuinely harm someone. It can guide repair and growth. Toxic guilt appears when you are manipulated into feeling bad for having needs, limits, or boundaries. It teaches you that self-protection is selfish, that saying no is cruelty, that existing separately is betrayal. Here is your exercise. Think of a recent moment where you felt guilty for setting a boundary. Then ask yourself, did I actually harm someone, or did I simply disappoint their expectations? What value of mine was I trying to protect? What would I tell a person I deeply loved if they were in this exact situation? Your life was never meant to be payment for your existence. Just like Elena. Want more practical information for healing from toxic family systems? Download your Break the Chains roadmap.